One summer afternoon in 2001, I was laying on a couch next to my girlfriend, writing something in my notepad. She was taking a nap, and for some unknown reason, I decided to draw a funny picture of a turtle. I went back to my writing, and after a while, she woke up and told me that she just had a dream about a funny turtle, and it turned out to be the same one I drew a moment earlier. That was the first time I experienced a direct transfer of thoughts between me and someone else. Later, I learned that this is a quite common phenomenon and that dream telepathy actually is recognized by science. I had no idea that 14 years later, having this ability will play a huge and important role in my life and in lives of millions of other people. The word telepathy means distant perception, and it is a much more complex phenomenon than just a simple transmission of thoughts. A more in-depth definition talks about remote kinesthetic sensations and emotional influence in altered or higher states of consciousness. Telepathy shouldn't be confused with magic, and it's also not mind control. Like all other supernatural phenomena, telepathy is widely dismissed by mainstream science, and anyone who spends a little bit time reviewing the studies conducted over the years, they will notice a pattern of lies used to discredit anyone proving that telepathy is not only real, but also rather a natural part of our existence. All of this is confirmed by military and secret agency projects and decade-old experiments. Despite ignorant attitude of the establishment towards this phenomena, telepathy is widely known and even accepted socially. Most of us are familiar with distant emotional connection between twins, or between a mother and a baby. There is also the possibility that many psychiatric patients are falsely diagnosed with schizophrenia because of the voices in their heads that can simply be a manifestation of their telepathic ability to receive human and spiritual thoughts. In fact, most of us regularly experience more or less intense telepathy, but we learn to ignore it. It is even possible that talking is an artificial and a very unnatural form of communication to us, and many scientists today are working hard to create implantable technology allowing for wireless, semi-telepathic exchange of information. Whether this trend is a positive or negative aspect of our technological evolution is a separate subject. But it seems that telepathy will be an inevitable prospect for our future, and it is important that you understand what it is, as it is highly likely, one way or another, it will eventually become a part of our lives, maybe even sooner than you think. In this video, I'll tell you about different types of telepathy, how psychedelics affect it, I'll describe what telepathic messages look like, and I'll tell you how you can work on developing and enhancing it. If this video helps you in any way, or if you just appreciate my efforts to help others, and you want to say thank you, you can do this by joining Patreon or Subscribestar, or by sending cash through PayPal, Cash App, and crypto or bank transfer. The existence of this channel relies on your generosity, so give it a try if this is your first time. It is fast and easy, and all methods are listed on the screen now. You can also schedule a chat with me or buy 434 merchandise. Links in the video description. Your help is needed and much appreciated. Thank you. There are a few types of telepathy described in literature and independent alternative scientific sources. The transfer of words, images, or ideas between two people is the type that everyone is mostly familiar with. What many don't realize is that this transfer can also happen between humans and animals, or even trees. If you remember, I made a separate video about this. Another type is something called emotional or emotive telepathy, which involves generating or transferring feelings to another person remotely. There is also superconscious telepathy that makes it possible to tap into the collective human consciousness. In this case, there could be a distinction made between human shared knowledge and outer dimensional knowledge belonging to alien life forms, and that's the type of telepathy that I access on my psychedelic trips. When I took mushrooms in the summer of 2015, I realized that psychedelics activate our supernatural powers, and in my case, it was the life-changing ability to receive important telepathic communication from metaphysical entities. It was only later that I learned that harmine, the active ingredient in ayahuasca, in the past used to be called telepathine. It turns out that it was not a unique skill for me to talk to psychedelic machine elves. I noticed after some time that psychedelics not only switch on but also enhance and strengthen my telepathic skills. This ability to connect emotionally with others runs in my family, and to this day I remember one morning in the late 80s when my mom woke up and told us my grandmother died. A few hours later, I brought her a telegram delivered to our mailbox that confirmed her premonition. After a few years of using psychedelics and communicating with entities, I can clearly sense other people's emotions, and I know when they think about me. Like my mom, I can also now correctly predict receiving traditional and electronic communication from people long before it appears in front of me. What does telepathic psychedelic communication look like? The easiest way to describe it for someone who has never experienced it is generating knowledge. If you receive a message telepathically, it is not through word-by-word sentences. The message appears in your mind storage as knowledge, as something that is a part of you. Since it is not verbal communication, it bypasses typical emotional ego filters like doubt, anxiety, and prejudice, and it is immediately accepted as truth. These messages are accompanied by a calming sense of understanding and harmony. I'm aware that this might have a lot to do with the fact that I'm dealing with outer dimensional entities whose knowledge is far more superior to ours, and that human-to-human telepathic communication might look very different. There are two types of telepathic messages I experience. First one is simple knowledge transfer that offers quick and easy understanding of a given subject. The other type is an instant upload of high-complexity telepathic file that is unpacked in my mind. It is made of knowledge, visuals, sounds, emotions, and connections to other memories and previous messages. This type of message is a high-intensity transfer that very often exceeds my brain's processing capacity, and the entities very often need to simplify or divide the upload into additional packages as it causes sensual overload resulting in temporary blackouts. Sometimes it takes a very long time to understand a given upload, and I'm frequently overwhelmed by the sensory density of this type of transfer. I can very often only understand the meaning of the upload once I connect it to other seemingly unrelated messages I received in the past. For me, it is also interesting to observe where the messages come from, as the location seems to be external. It feels like the source of it is somewhere right above my head. It does not feel like the messages appear in my brain. If you remember from my earlier videos, I mentioned that taking large doses of psychedelics can be risky, and besides obvious physical and psychological reasons, there's a metaphysical one that I need to mention. Should you be irresponsible or brave enough to overwhelm your bodily functions with a psychoactive substance, your mind will become exposed to and defenseless against any form of telepathic invasion from other realms. If you think that it sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, believe me that this is a very real matter should you have telepathic abilities and not know about it. It happened to me on a heroic dose of mushrooms, and I was bombarded with all kinds of communication from an unbearable number of entities all at once. This was later explained to me by the psychedelic entities I talked to, who said that developing telepathic skills is risky because it gives evil entities access to your knowledge about this life and this reality. Remember that we are playing here with powerful forces we know very little of, and psychedelics are a potent tool in letting us access undiscovered realms and communicate with unknown entities. The machinals I talked to later added that you might need to learn how to control telepathy and how to defend yourself against other entities on your next trip. Always respect the sacred psychedelic medicine and don't abuse your body by consuming excess amounts of psychedelics, especially if you have a little or no experience with them. So how do you know if you have dormant telepathic abilities? Watch for the signs. If you regularly notice synchronicities, matrix glitches, deja vus, and so on, you clearly have supernatural powers. You will need to combine it with an open mind, belief in the metaphysical, inner and outer harmony, and the ability to clear your mind through meditation and concentration. Being an empathetic person definitely will be an important factor in getting access to your telepathic powers, as will a strong emotional connection with someone, positive or negative. Telepathy obviously becomes more accessible in a loving relationship, and high vibrational frequency and following the 434 values is an important prerequisite. How to recognize a telepathic message? Trust me, you will know when you receive it. The sensation of messages being uploaded into your mind is so different from the regular thought process in your head that you will immediately recognize it as telepathy. Unlike our random and chaotic thoughts, these messages are structured, well-defined, and very concrete. I believe that what I developed and what I have been experiencing in the last few years is something we all have. Telepathy is real, and it has been confirmed and identified by science and it is possible that you're receiving these messages remotely and that it has been happening for a lot longer than you can remember. It is very possible that humans used to communicate telepathically in the past, and that this ability and the knowledge about it was purposely removed from our history and biology textbooks. You need to remember that telepathy is one of our divine powers. This is how you communicate with the energy or God and the entities. This is confirmed by those who experience both near-death experiences and psychedelic states. The thoughts you're sending out are being received outside of this realm. You're listened to, and your thoughts and prayers matter, and that's why it is so important to keep high vibrational frequency. And keep in mind that should this life be a simulation, you might be a powerful creator, generating your reality telepathically through the power of thought. Make sure it is based on love, joy, and hope. Thank you for watching. This channel needs your financial support to reach as many people as possible with these messages. So if you enjoyed watching this video, have a look at the full list of methods to support my work. You can schedule a donation-funded chat by sending a message, or you can visit the shop. Subscribe and follow. Like and share this video. For merchandise, go to shop.b434.com. Leave your email address at news.b434.com. Visit the website of the artist and the musician I featured here. For more info or contact, visit b434.com and join 434's social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and VK. Talk to each other on Reddit, Discord, and Telegram. All links in the video description.